I hear RBG. Let's go. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. You peak, pale skin beast. I hate your red, white, and blue. And Ku Klux Klan sheets. I hate your president, your senate, and your campaign speech. I hate the British and the Romans and the goddamn Greeks. It's no peace, yeah. Moral persuasion doesn't work with Caucasians. You speak this language through violence with guns blazing. So what I'm saying, negotiating with Satan is to waste the time. You out your African mind. Gonna make these devils pay for every single crime ever committed. Cracker, you did it, now it's time to die. I sprayed a ratchet, I batted, no moving backwards. I'm sending bullets at crackers and all faggots. Forward is the motion. Killing devils on different levels, concocting potions to stop them from encroaching. On our way of life, I got a knife to slit his throat quick. Get my people hype, cause what I write is always dopeness. Focus. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. Take a step in my lane. I'm projecting the pain. Visions and pictures in my veins of us tortured and slain. So many sons and daughters slaughtered, some known in the name. Bringing my eye to the situation is why I came. I shake every pet nation, gonna exterminate. Marcus Garvey, Mugabe, politics, run them all away. KP archetype methodology, how the gods slay. Try life and I don't play. Kill these crackers in broad day. Enter the scene, got them clean and watch me swerve out it. Big juju in my pocket, I ain't worried about it. That go for grown-ups to babies. Salute my Baba Khaled behind it. We solid, I call for violence, it's very valid. Yeah, murder these devils, it's divine order. We opposites, I reject the mixing like all the water. Africa for Africans, representing the word strong. I say shut them borders down and let us get a purge on. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truth. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truth. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
This ain't no Kumbaya vibe, my Yasa is a war child. That's my war cry, double H famine, it's wartime. Devils want it all, wants peaceful coexistence. Anti-separation, he's violently resistant. Kupit tech, bullet pow, hit the deck when bullets fly. The devil won't change and needs to be euthanized. The stupidness, foolish minds you will get, use your blind. Suicide, trusting this cracker is suicide. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you know the play. That peace talk is juvenile, it really don't hold no weight. Fighting hate with love sounds great in theory, but never ever work in history. Name one place that this cracker went. Name one place that this cracker left alone. I bet that they was war prone. Keep a piece in your wardrobe and know the world's a war zone.
I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truth. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truth. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
Good evening, family. Hope y'all are doing very well this Thursday evening. We have a lot to discuss with you all tonight. We had an attempted assassination on former President Trump. meteors hitting the skylines and, the cities in the Northeast. You had unbelievable amount of heat waves across the country. We got to deal with that. And, more shenanigans dealing with our brother Tariq Nasheed and the release of his documentary film, Microphone Check. So we'll have our sister Brooke come in on a 9 o'clock hour to chop it up with us and let us know exactly what's going on, family. A lot is taking place. I see my brother Blacksmith, Sister Marcia getting ready. Brother Tad will be joining us shortly. But like last week, we had to let, Brother Black go in. Hold on, let me get him in. Brother Black, what's good, brother? How you feeling?
What's up, my beautiful Brooklyn sister? How are you?
I'm feeling blessed and highly favored, as Brother Tad always say.
Hey, I'm really black today. I don't see myself on the screen. It's just a black screen.
I see. I wonder what's going on. But hey.
I'm all right with it. I'm ugly anyway, so.
Of course not. You are so handsome.
We're going to give our women out there a break today from my face.
Oh, my goodness. He is so handsome. He kills me with it. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you got to check it out on your end.
I did everything I usually do, and I'm seeing it for the first time. I saw myself before you put me in.
Hold on. Let me bring you out and try again. Yeah, it's on your end, brother. It's definitely on your end. So we'll give you a chance to work out that kink. I see Sister Marcia is getting ready behind.
I'm going to go out and come right back in.
All right. So we're going to let Brother Black try to work out those kinks behind the scenes. Sister Marcia is getting ready. I know the UNIA got something popping this weekend in Queens. So I know she's going to give us the 411 on that. But we have to show respect to our warriors, our freedom fighters, who are always on the front line. And I believe the 16th was Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, but that is the Earth Day of our warrior sister queen, Assata Shakur. And I want to first shout out MWM for their Zoom conference they had the last couple of days. Got to chop it up with some great people and learn some interesting things. You had there you go, Black. You had on the call Ramona, Janine, and Janet Africa. We had a message from Assata Shakur, and I got to tell y'all about this message. Because one of the things that really well, hold on. Let me just come in on an intro and give thanks to our warrior sister who is in exile in Cuba right now. But be most certain that she definitely misses us here in the American soil. She definitely misses us. She misses the food. She misses our interactions, just how we vibe as Black Americans. And she said that specifically. So I want to give MWM kudos for pulling that together. Shout out to brother Lumumba Uncaged. Always want to check in. Peace to that brother. That's Dr. Filet right here, right there. So we got to give him his flowers too while he's still here. But I wanted to come in and give thanks that Dr. Filet played last night, and we'll play it right here, family. Here we go.
See two messages tonight to Joanne Chesimard. One from the widow of the New Jersey State Trooper Chesimard was convicted of killing some 20 years ago, a murder Chesimard denies. The other message is from the New Jersey State Police. And in my exclusive interview with her, Chesimard expressed her fears of what the troopers just might do.
I'm afraid that they might assassinate me. They might try to kidnap me.
Joanne Chesimard, who calls herself Assata Shakur, talking to me in Havana, Cuba, talking of her fears that the New Jersey State Police will somehow find a way to get to her.
These people will stop at nothing.
In 1979, Shakur escaped from a New Jersey prison where she was serving life for the murder of State Trooper Werner Forrester. Police said he was executed with his own gun.
It was such an unfair trial, by an all-white jury.
Joanne Chesimard is the #1 fugitive for the New Jersey State Police.
The head of the state police intently watched a tape of my interview with the convicted cop killer as she claims state troopers tortured her in the hospital.
You know, they would stick their hands in the wounds. Does it hurt here? Does it hurt here?
It's been almost 25 years, and I'm sure that she's replayed this and turned it around to her benefit many, many times.
Shakur portrayed herself as a fighter for racial justice by what she called armed struggle if necessary.
People have the right to free themselves from oppression by whatever means they deem possible.
She is not a heroine. She's a murderer.
Colonel Williams called Shakur's fears of police assassination ludicrous, but then he gave me this startling comment.
We would do everything we could to get her off the island of Cuba, and if that includes kidnapping, we would do it.
Colonel Williams told me the police determination to recapture Chesimard is fired by the memory of Trooper Forrester on the memorial wall.
She killed my husband.
Rose Forrester, the trooper's widow. Their son was just 3.5 years old when her husband was gunned down.
My son lost his dad. He grew up without a dad. You know, he never saw his son going to school. The first soccer game, taking him fishing. And then he got married 1.5 years ago. He never saw him getting married. And I think my son really missed to have a dad.
I say to her that I am totally sorry that her husband was killed. I did not kill him.
She is sorry? I doubt it that she is sorry. No. I think they know that what they were doing that night.
Anyone who suffers a loss is in great pain. And I hope that she understands my pain as well.
She don't know what suffering is.
As for Colonel Williams' statement to me that he was prepared to kidnap Joanne Chesimard from Cuba, later in the interview, he said that only lawful actions would be taken, but he didn't elaborate. The top state police official added that even now, almost 2 decades after her prison escape, he has a detective working full-time on the Chesimard case. Williams told me, and I'm quoting, Chesimard better be looking over her shoulder all the time.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks.
So, you know, we got to protect her at all costs. It's a tragedy that she is still in exile in Cuba for a murder she didn't commit, a woman who was falsely arrested and imprisoned, who was abused in those conditions, and, you know, managed to get out of those conditions into a welcoming Cuba. But it is problematic that you have so many Black politicians on both sides of the aisle, and none of them would even speak of her in this way. And that is to be examined as you get involved or as you engage in this political arena. And one of the things that I find problematic, even as a political platform for Black people in this country, and I said this on the Zoom call the other night, that, you know, as a political platform, it should be a demand that the remaining survivors of the MOVE bombing be fully exonerated, be repaired in every way that they deem what repair should be, that Mumia Abu-Jamal should no longer be behind prison walls, that Assata Shakur should not be in exile all of these years. I believe she turned 77 this July 16th. And as I said, one of the calls that Dr. Falay played the other night was her saying how much she misses us, that there's nothing like this African-American culture, the food and how we vibe with each other and so on and so forth. And, you know, you connect the dots with the current climate, if you will, where we have a divisive argument as it relates to different tribes. And it seems that, our people haven't learned the mistakes of the past, not understanding and respecting different tribes. I believe that was one of the main goals of Marcus Messiah Garvey and the UNIA, to accomplish that. But it seems that we can't get over that hurdle. It seems that we allow our own respective cultures to become a mechanism for the enemy to use against us. I don't care where you come from on this planet and you are Black. You should respect not only your own culture, but the culture of other Black people around the globe and throughout the diaspora. Brother Blacksmith, before you go in, your thoughts on Assata Shakur and her still being exiled today in 2024.
Well, very interesting topic because over the years, and I'm sure you've heard, whether you agree or not, that at the end of the day, Castro was a deep undercover psyop. Fidel Castro worked with the United States intelligence. He's Justin Trudeau's father, the president of Canada now, through infidelity, but that was all set up anyway because maybe Trudeau, the former lead prime minister of Canada, probably couldn't recreate. And so they said, let's get somebody else to do it so we can keep this Illuminati bloodline flowing. A lot of people also don't know that Castro was Jewish. So for all we know, Assata could have been dead 25 years ago, and they just using this as a psyop to keep us hoping that she come back to the United States or something like that. Who's seen her? I believe that was the legitimate her, but like, I don't know how long ago that was. I'm sure it was like in the 90s or thereabouts. So who knows what's going on with that situation. But if she is alive and she's listening, or at least has access to somebody who listens to us, all the best to you, sister. And I hope you get back here. With what I'm about to say, I'm going to cover some of that. So instead of going forward, I'm going to let you get it back, Keisha, and then we'll go in when you're ready for me.
Okay, cool. Just want to give some quick shout outs. A shout out to Sister Donna and Brother Kerwood. Alabama in here, heavy as usual. Sister Farnessa on the check-in. Abibi Fahodier. Yes, indeed, since we are back on the bridge. K Rush 409 Philly in the building. Heavy, what's good? Fam, you got to talk to Aunt Marie about the story of our family's connection to Assata Shakur. Quite interesting, because you got to talk to Aunt Marie about that. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't want no strike on my channel, and I don't want black coats come knocking on my door. But anyway, talk to Aunt Marie about that. Sister Keisha, what's good? The Black Achievement Fund is in the building. Yes, indeed, Sister Farnessa. The Anunnaki is in the building. You know, Brother Black is about to go in because we had a lot that has happened. Meteors have hit the eastern shores. I mean, I don't know what's going on in y'all's neck of the woods, but this 3-week heat wave has been crazy. And it's affecting my skin, to be honest with you, and a whole lot of others. And I'll talk about that a little bit later after Brother Black goes in. Dr. Filet, Philly in here, heavy. What's good? MWM. Sister Almanette too, the Midwest crew. Did you hear your governor at the Republican National Convention? Wow. It was crazy. We'll get into that a little bit later. Sister Pat in the building. Freedom Party on the check-in heavy. What's good? Sister Breuck gonna be in here in a minute, family. She gonna give us the 411 on what's happening with this movie microphone check. Just when we was ready to buy our tickets to go and flood the theaters this weekend, some shenanigans happened behind the scenes, and Sister Breuck is going to come in a little bit later and give us the 411 on that. And also, let y'all in on a little secret about who she really is. You know, when she get up in here, y'all don't know. Yes, Sister Pat, that's what Brother Garvey said. One aim, one goal, one destiny. It seems that we can't seem to have respect for other people's cultures and tribes, if you will. And it seems a lot of heat has been thrown our way as of late. African Americans here, foundational Black Americans in this country have been catching a lot of heat in these internet streets. So it's a lot of pushback. So we'll get into all of that a little bit later. Yes. Dr. Falez says thank you to myself and Sister Marcia. We were on the call last night and the night before, to be exact, to see where MWM is, where they're going, who they're connecting with, and how we can all network to get things done. Yes, Brother Black, a few of our folks travel to Cuba every year. She is well, and it's the real Asada. Yes, I get a birthday, happy birthday email from her every year. I'm looking forward to that next week. Next week is my Earth Day. So we probably won't be on. Depends on what my husband wants to do. Anyway, Brother Magnetic Peace Tyson on the check-in, North Kakalaki in here. Heavy, what's good? Shout out to all of our brothers and sisters across the pond. We get a lot of followers and viewers from the UK, believe it or not, from Japan, from the Netherlands, from Trinidad, from Jamaica, from Haiti. What's good? We definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all coming in every Thursday right here on the Brooklyn Bridge where it goes down. My brother Blacksmith always coming in with that truth knowledge. And, you know, people don't want to believe, you know, until the white man say something. So, you know, oblige them because, as, you know, the great Bobby Hammond said, you know, we may be woke, but everybody else ain't on our time. So we got to have a little bit more patience. You and Tad got a little bit more patience with our folks. I'll yield the floor to you, Brother Black. Go ahead and do your thing.
Okay, where you want me to start?
Let's talk about, first of all, this assassination attempt on former President Trump. Now, I don't know, for those of you who don't follow Brother Black and haven't been here before, but he's been dropping a bunch of jewels with us, letting us know that, you know, you don't know exactly who it is that you're seeing. You have people who are walking around here as with prosthetics, you know, pretending to be the people that you see. This President Trump seems lost about 50 pounds since the last one. He's less orange. You know, now he's walking around with the Inspector Gadget, Get Smart cover on his ear after this attempted shooting. So, Brother Black, give us the 411 on your perspective of what happened the other day in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yes,
and believe
ma'am.
it or not, this is a white aggressionist area. How do I know? Because I've been to gun shows in that area. So I told you all before, they even sell discounts. Now, I don't know if you all know what a discount is, but it's a disc that goes in the middle of your target for aiming if you're at the range. So they sell discounts. If the history hitman is in here, he'll tell you we saw some with Minister Louis Farrakhan's face on it. Damn. We saw some with Reverend Al Sharpton's face on it. We saw some with Jesse Jackson's face on it. So, you know, and they were selling them for 50 cents, believe it or not.
Obama? No Obamas?
I didn't see none at that time. Nobody was talking about Obama at that time. We were at that gun show. It was an NRA gun show. And peace be upon Brother Harold Wilbur and James Bryson. We all rode out there to that gun show, and it was something to see. But Brother Black, your perspective on this assassination attempt?
Okay, well, when me and you, when we hit each other up that same day, right after it happened, and I asked you what you thought, you told me the same thing you already knew I was thinking, PSYOP. And the way you could tell it was a PSYOP was the setup. Can I read something that's going to be short, maybe a minute and a half? to make my point, give me a second. So let me load that up. Where is it? Okay. All right. This is how it starts. Why did Q tell you that Israel was saved for last? The reason is Israel is the key to bringing down the global deep state. This isn't anti-Semitism. I'm referring to the Khazarian Jews or the fake North European Khazars who stole the identity, of the real Jews and created the Rothschilds. Rockefeller's Wall came from South Germany, where they created the Illuminati in 1776 and took control of the local governments and financial. Hold on one second. Gotta go down a little bit. And the financed the trains and public roads and created the Rothschilds banking dynasty. Sorry, y'all. This thing is tricky for me to control. So,
sorry, brother. Take your time. Take your time. We here for it because it's right in line with something I'm going to discuss. This is how the ancestors work. We discussed this prior to coming on, family.
Okay.
We free with it over here. So go ahead, Brother Black.
Okay. And financed the trains and public roads and created the Rothschilds banking dynasty through Europe and helped J.P. Morgan take over the U.S. banking system after the Titanic killed the biggest U.S. bankers and richest tycoons who were against creating a Federal Reserve controlled by the elites, who would be the Khazarians. I'm going down a little more. Give me 1 second, y'all. This thing want to act up now. Okay.
That's right, Sister Amanettu. Get your pens and pads out because Brother Black going in. Black.
Okay, and brought the Jewish leaders to become into Judaism and name themselves after the Jews. Okay, now to this day, the elite families of the Khazarian descendants control Israel. It was they, Khazarians, who created Rothschilds banking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then created the world wars to install governments and loan money for wars and created 70% of European law through war and propaganda. To this day, the globalist Khazarians, going down again, give me 1 second, y'all, run Israel and created the United Nations and took over countries and governments. Most people are unaware that the U.S. government and most Democratic and Republicans are run by the Khazarian fake Jews. This is why Q told you Israel's safe for last. In parentheses, taking down fake Jewish sector that intertwine with the real Jews. Okay, going down again. Okay, I read that part already. Okay, that's most of it. Instead of taking 20 minutes to figure this out, let me just stop there. Hold on. Okay, I got it. This is why Q told you Israel is safe for last, taking down fake Jewish sector that intertwine with the real Jews. You must remember the real Jews are also fighting against the fake Jews who are Zionists, Khazars. This is happening right now. You are watching the exposure of how a captured U.S. government by outside foreign entities created a military coup using the CIA three-letter agency and other three-letter agencies. Trump was placed. Give me 1 second again. Trump was placed to expose the U.S. captured U.S. government. This is all happening and being recorded into congressional records, and the United States archives and the military sectors are recording everything. You are highly unaware the world is going to change on a massive level as the CIA, globalist, Western funds, and fiat currency come near extinction level. Right now in Congress, a huge topic is taking place on the globalist powers on the globalist powers and their reach into the U.S. system that is connected to an open military coup. World courts are looking to documents, files, and servers that prove Netanyahu, Jewish leader, could be held accountable for crimes against humanity and mass murder and corruption. If this fails, white hats from several United countries are going to keep pushing for his arrest. Later, after the near-death civilization events come to a close, military courts will go after Netanyahu. Right now in Israel, near civil war is brewing, and white hats inside the Israeli government are coordinating a military coup to unseat this puppet, master of Israel. The real story of the Illuminati reaches far back into the Knights Templar who created the earliest banking systems through Europe. The story of the Knights Templars goes back to the Middle East, where they found King Solomon's gold and the real Ark of the Covenant. Okay, there's a little more, but I think that's enough for what we're talking about. So to go back to what we have been saying, and I've been telling y'all this for years on this very show now, Trump was placed there by military generals called the White Hats, or what's called the good guys, in order to restore, and I've said this on this show several times, to restore this earth back to us. I put out a video a few days ago, and the person that sent it to me, I'm not going to name her because I didn't get her permission. So, but she sent me is a lot of stuff, and what it said was on the 20th of August, which is about a month away from today, almost a month from today. We're supposed to get the biggest solar flash ever, and it's supposed to zap us into our superpowers. So I've been saying this, and you know that, Keisha. You know me a long enough time to know I've been consistent with saying this since we knew each other or soon after. And I believe that the attempted unaliving at former president, or depending on how you look at him, president of the new Republic of the United States of America, was a flashpoint and a sign for the white hats all over the world to activate. It was a psyop. I don't believe that was a real situation. And if you've been in the military or know anything about bodyguarding or security work, you don't let the target expose his face to the public and throw up the Black Power sign and say fight, fight, fight. That if there was another shooter, he would have been dead. He would have shot him straight through the mouth.
Absolute facts. We got to get Sister Marcia in here on the check-in. Sister Pat asked Brother Black, can you please give the site for that information that you just read? If you put it in the private chat, then I can drop it in the comments.
If you go on my Facebook page, and it's Elias Flavius, Elias FLA, V like Victor, E like Edward, U like United, S like States. I put it there all day, but I could put it in here. But for me to go in between, when Sister Marcia comes in, I'll put it in the chat, and then you can send it to whoever.
All right, no rush. Take your time. Sister Marcia, glad to be with you. How you feeling, sis? What's good? What's good? What's good?
Happy Black-tastic Thursday. Can you see? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I got to stay in rhythm with the people, you know?
Sister Pat said, false flag operation. False flag operation.
Happy Black-tastic Thursday to the Thorough Black Talk audience, Brother Black, Sister.
Hey, sis.
I'm glad to see y'all. What happened to Brother Ty? Where he at?
He's coming. He's running a little late. He's coming.
Oh,
he's coming.
Okay. So I just want to say, isn't it great to be alive? Like, this is just such an amazing world. Amazing things keep happening. Don't let them ruffle your feathers. Put sugar in your tank. Just believe what you believe in, and everything is going to be all right. And Brother Black, my mama Asada is here. She is here. Don't take her away from us.
No. I wasn't trying to do that, sweetie. You have to understand, when you dealing with these topics, these such very important topics, you have to deal with the realm of possibility as well.
Absolutely.
Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's fake or a doppelganger or something like that. Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
But she will always have like the dearest spot in my heart. Like, how brave are you to have a child? To just like, use that energy to create something in the midst of the worst part of your current existence, right? So you still had the ability to do that. And now is thriving somewhere with your child, right? Who can say that? Who can say that, I was under the gun, I was this, I was that, but I created a life and I'm living my life with my creation. Who can say that? Not these Band-Aid people. So, let's just give a lot more credence to Mama Asada and the works that she did for us. We just don't talk about her works enough, and like we don't talk about a lot of people's real work in our community. So we got to do better in exalting their names and making sure that people truly understand the magnitude of their lives and not just the things that the white hats are saying. So let's just do that. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts for right now.
Sister Pat, I just put the link to Brother Black's page in the chat, so you can click on the link to his page and then you can get access to that. Shout out to Brother Ray Ray and the BK Wilkin Mackey History Club. I got to talk to you, Brother Ray Ray. We got to bring our brother in from the UK next year. We're going to plan for this for next year. We're going to make something big. So I got to chop it up with you next time I see you. We're going to make it happen. Right along with what Brother Black was just talking about, this came to me, 1907, The Negro, A Menace to American Civilization. Now, white folks always have their own think tanks, especially as it relates to how society should be run. Well, here is an article, or book, rather. You could get the book, but it's some excerpts from the book, I should say, or quotes from the book that I'm going to read to you all, that was written by the name of Robert Wilson Sheffield, who was a major in the medical department of the United States Army. From the book, he says, now, as I read this, I want you to remember all of the talking points that both parties have as it relates to us, if you will, when it talks about crime and how bad we are and so on and so forth, and how they cosplay our culture, and then give us a bunch of benign, neglectful comments as they deal with us, but everybody else gets tangibles here. So he says in the book, it takes a Negro to assault a pretty and winsome little girl less than 4 years of age. It is scarcely necessary for me to say that I am morally opposed to all forms of lynching law, but the Negro is with us. Savagery, barbarous acts beget savage and barbarous acts. Lynching, in spite of everything, will continue to occur in the United States of America just so long as the Negro is left here alive. Now, that quote makes you think about all of the police assaults that we have, when you have all of these Karens who are pulling up on us, when you have these white aggressionists who are murdering Black folks for no reason in these streets. They adhere to their culture. Now, throughout this RNC convention, and you will hear the same for the Democratic convention, they tout this Christian narrative, if you will. But what's really behind it? And so this article or this book gives you a bit of insight of what it is that they're talking about. He says, He can no more help his instincts than he is responsible for the color of his skin. Note the lynching photos, and we'll see those down below. The book is dedicated to a colleague and his sincere effort he once made to maintain the purity of the race of which he was so distinguished a representative. Other tragic notes from the book: the Negro, in fact, has no morals, and it is therefore out of the question for him to be immoral. The Reverend Dr. Tucker quoted as having said that the American Church Congress for that year, that he knew the whole of neighborhoods where there is not one single Negro couple, whether legally married or not. This is so disgusting. Excuse me, family, because this thing gets under my skin. Whether there is not one single couple, whether legally married or not, who is faithful to each other a few weeks. In the midst of prayer meetings, I have known Negroes to steal from each other. On the way home, they will rob the hen roost that lies conveniently at hand. The most pious Negro that I know is confined in penitentiary for an atrocious murder. The Negro is ready at any and all time to do his share in debasing the blood of the white race in America. There is no greater danger assailing American civilization than this. Regarding skin, the outrageous odor emits, especially under heat and excitement. This is sometimes so strong that I know ladies of our own race brought to the stage of emesis, meaning wanting to vomit, when compelled to inhale it for a length of time. The problem is far graver. The number of Negroes far greater, and the means of ridding ourselves of these black parasites immeasurably more difficult. No white woman, no white girl, and in fact, no white child with any safety at all venture out alone in these districts and places where Negroes have more or less full sway. It is in the presence of the Negro amongst us that is responsible for the lynching law and the taste of our people for such brutal horrors. Now, you can get this book online, but you can go to archive.org and try to download it for free. But this is the philosophy that they tout. So I want you all to have a clear understanding when they start talking this Christian right, what exactly they are talking about. So now, moving right along, because I know we got to get my sister Brooke in here in about 5 minutes. So I see her in the background. We're going to bring you in about 5 minutes, sis. Are you good with that? She gave me the thumbs up. She said yes. She said yes. All right, cool. So, Sister Marcia, now I know that the UNIA has an event coming up this weekend. You want to give us the 411 on that, if you could?
Well, so Marcus Garvey founded the UNIA in Jamaica, the West Indies, on July 20th. So in Jamaica, New York, they will have their first march in Southeast Queens to galvanize people to participate in the UNIA, become members of the UNIA, and understand the mission and the goal of the UNIA. I know it's hard for people to understand what the Universal Negro Improvement Association means. But I remember one time Marimba Ani had said that had Marcus Garvey had an opportunity to further develop this organization, it would have been called the United African Improvement Association, removing Negro from it. But because that was the popular term at the time, this is what it is. And even this book that Sister Keisha took out experts from tell us that they still consider us targets for any reason. They don't want to leave us alone. Like, we've have proven evidence that we've created, or our ancestors created, communities, opportunities to live amongst each other, and they flooded them, or they did all types of things to remove our ability to sustain ourselves independently, because they need us. We don't need them. And until we understand that we don't need them and they need us, and claim our power, we're always going to be under. And we need to truly understand that they need us. We don't need them. They control something right now called the capitalist system that we think we need. Oh, I need bread and I need butter. Girl, you can make your own bread. That white lady show you that on Instagram all the time. Oh, here I am making whatever from my children. I don't know what her name is, but I'm just saying, our capabilities of doing things is there. Our ancestors has proven it time and time again. During the time of our imprisonment here on these shores, we have proven our sustainability. We just now need to recapture our ability of sustainability. We have been asleep for a good amount of time, and it's now for us to reawaken and reclaim what is permanently ours, not temporary. We don't need a temporary push. That was affirmative action. Affirmative action was a temporary push, and now they flipped it on you and said, nah, it wasn't for you. So they gave you 30 years, 30 good years of affirmative action, and now they're swiping it away from you. So we need to be the swipers and say, swiper, we don't swipe back. So let's go.
Sister Marcia.
Yes, brother.
It is a fact that the affirmative action laws have benefited white women exponentially more than anybody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The word that they used
our backs.
And the word that they used to do it was minority.
Yes.
Okay.
But they put it on our backs, and we didn't get the privilege of it. We haven't been able to maximize the privilege of being a quote unquote minority in this country.
And Bayard Rustin exposed that the civil rights movement was the way to usher in the LG letter people, whatever you call them.
Well,
so we've always been used as a pawn, basically.
The thing is, when you allow other people to narrate your victory will always be lost. Bayard did what he had to do for his people, for the people that he thought needed the most protection. And right about now, they got all types of protection, to the point that they're putting an old man who touches a little girl as, oh no, it's okay, he's sick, and it's not his fault. So now you're not charging. Now they're gonna come a stage where they're not gonna charge for pedophilia. So again, if we don't protect our own interests, we are the ones at a demise. And right about now, we're too busy trying to fit into capitalism and worried about, Trump with his ear. Oh my God, I got shot in my ear. My ear. Oh my God, my ear.
Sister Marcia.
Or Biden, who got COVID.
No, that actually, that didn't happen on the stage. That happened when he was boxing Mike Tyson.
I'm done.
At his casino.
Wait, Sister Keisha, we can't hear you, sis.
Well, if you read former President Trump's memoirs, he talks about openly, honestly, how he studied everything about Don King, how he was a marketing genius. So he hung out heavy. And those of us who could go back from back then, I could tell you plenty of parties where I seen folks at. So trust and believe. He definitely copied everything from Don King, and it's working. Right now, you have the political left, the heads, the three heads, that would be Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, who are now putting pressure on current President Biden. Maybe he should consider stepping down.
I think they just sent a report that he is stepping down.
Yeah,
everybody's
doing it now.
They telling him, you got to move on.
Yeah, because, with this whole COVID, and he looking like he was dying getting into the car yesterday. He looked like death. He was like, wow, wait, why are they showing this? And it just amazes me, just like the fake bodyguards that Trump had fiddling with their guns trying to protect the guy. Now you leaving this guy open for all the criticism on how he's laboring his breath to get into this car. Now, I've watched people transition in my life. I've had the opportunity to be there as they're taking their breaths. And those weren't some good breaths. So they should have put that black screen, that black, what they call those things? Curtain.
Sister Marcia.
Yes.
This is the end game. Now, I don't know if y'all remember. I used to say this on the show. I've been on the show since it happened. So we can look back in time and say, and not long ago, say that the game is playing out. Check this out. Listen to me. Do y'all remember when it was the white hats on 4chan and all that, when Q was popping, when Q was coming out every day with like 7-8 posts a day regularly? When you say you have COVID, that is code for you've been arrested. That ain't never changed. It changed because now we're not under the COVID protocols, but that was a law on the white hat side. The mainstream media ain't going to talk about that. So again, like I told you a few minutes ago, well, you weren't on the show. Maybe you heard. I'm saying this is the flashpoint was like activate. Wonder Twins, whatever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Not only that,
the Wonder Twins were good guys.
Yeah, they were. No, I'm saying how they transform into something different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why I say activate.
Well, let's say Decepticons.
Oh, okay.
No, don't say that.
No,
don't say that.
They good.
Brownsville?
Don't say Decepticons.
Okay, how about Wonder Twins versus the Decepticons?
Nah, leave Decepticons. Leave them out of it. I don't want no problems.
Brownsville is probably heavy on this chat, so okay.
Listen, I don't want no problems.
Okay.
We good over here.
Hey, Marcia, you might not know about this. She thinking about the days of the Decepts in Brooklyn that used to slash faces.
She know what we talking about. She's from Brooklyn. I know. Sister Marcia from East New York. Stop playing.
She's from Queens. Cut it out.
Nah,
she's awesome. Listen.
You live in a house and drive a car in the city. Something most people in Brooklyn and the Bronx don't do.
Listen. I may have lived most of my life in Queens.
Thank you. She's from Queens.
Yes, but my formation is in Brooklyn. Everything I know, how to ride a bike, how to eat in the pop, how to fight, came from Brooklyn, and that level of insight from Brooklyn has allowed me to thrive in Queens, because I came into Queens fighting everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember them days when you moved, you had to fight half the hood.
Yeah, because you're the new girl and everybody's like checking you out and you're trying to.
Been there.
Yo, put them shoulders down.
Hey, but hold on. Ladies, hold on. There's something we ain't talking about here. I don't know if y'all heard. Allegedly, Xi Jinping just had a stroke.
Whoa.
I heard this last night. Don't say I made it up. You can go check right now.
Could it be that all of a sudden this stroke came upon because these 40 blanks done collapsed over there? Huh? And people are in the streets happy over there in China?
Benjamin Fulford has been saying for years that that's an avatar. That's not the real him either. He said that about Trump. He definitely says that about Biden and Kamala and all these people that have been gone since before they even assumed office. You know what I'm saying? But he said that about him maybe 5-6 years ago. And I didn't believe it. I read an article recently that said that when 45 went into office, he had the former leader of a place now called Russia off so that they could get this world new economy popped off, because whether we know it or not, 45 is still the commander in chief. He still commands the military, and he's the world's exchequer, meaning the person that disburses the funds and makes the value in the worth what it is. That's old news.
Well, and so I don't follow stocks and things.
No, that's not stocks, and that's
no. I'm going somewhere with this.
Gold and silver.
I'm going somewhere with this. But recently they had said that the day of his attack, his personal attack, they sold his stocks, and a company has apparently made a lot of capital from that short sale, and they found it ironic, that these incidents are happening simultaneously. So I just say that because most people in those echelons, as soon as they make a particular amount, they transfer those things into, real commodities, golds and silvers. So I just found that interesting and wanting to highlight the fact that, trading is the place to be. Sister Keisha always says that if you're trading, you're a good place.
Nothing. Excuse me, I don't do nothing. I don't know nothing. Please don't send the black coats over here. None of that. I don't got no bread. I am broke. I ain't got no money.
I'm broke too. I'm broke too.
Nothing. We ain't got nothing over here. None of us ain't got nothing. Listen, we waiting to ascend. We waiting to ascend. We ain't playing no games over here. We don't got nothing. We don't want no problems. None of that. But we got our guests in. We got
Keisha, I gotta say this before we segue. I gotta say this real quick.
Hurry up.
Listen, the only thing left for my man to do right now is to make a rap album. He was convicted, shot by the ops, and made it through.
Listen, the show is coming back. A limited edition. That
would make trillions of dollars. He needs to do that shit. If you got access to him, tell him.
Hold on. The shoe is coming back out. Limited edition, 5,000 pairs. The price is $3.99. He gonna have the fist up with the bloody ear on the side of the gold shoe. I already know. I sent Brother Tad in the article yesterday. Those of us who work in the footwear industry, we get the 411 before everybody. So I'm just telling you.
And he got the $2 bills. He got those $2 bills for $19.99. You could buy at least 5 of them.
But, moving right along, family. Thank you, Brother Black, for that exquisite report. Next week, you got to come back because like you said, these solar flares are coming heavy and they're affecting a lot of folks in many different ways. And we want to touch on the different ways that people are being affected out here. So
if you want to show it on the show, that video is like probably 30 seconds long. It's not long.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about during the week, brother. We'll make it happen. So chopping it up with my sister Breuck, she let me know the 411 and what's going on in these Twitter spaces because I'm busy. I rely on the comrades to give me the 411 about what's happening. So when I saw the post for Microphone Check that it was going to be released again in theaters, in select theaters, I reached out and let y'all know last week when it was going to be played, where it was going to be played, how many showings, and so on and so forth. Me and Brother Tad, we chopped it up behind the scenes. We was going to make it to the matinee so we could be, first in the crew. Well, when I get back home, because I don't like to do transactions when I'm moving about in the street. I got to stay focused. So when I get settled, I said, let me order my tickets. So last night, let me order my tickets. I hit Sister Marcia up. You want to go or whatever. So I'm looking. I'm like, I know the goddamn link was here a minute ago. What happened? So I said, stuff happens. sites go down. They could be sold out. Who knows? I reached out to Sister Breuck. Now, she is in Tariq's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter spaces, and she pretty much know what's going on. And if you follow Tariq, you've heard her on his broadcast recently. For those of you who don't know, remember the protest that happened in Brooklyn with the Red Apple Nail Salon? Y'all remember that? I always tell y'all that you can't just follow points of history or spokespersons of history. You have to know who the architects are. Well, tonight, you're going to meet the architect of that Red Apple Nail Salon. Who kicked it off? Who was behind it all? So, without further ado, we're going to bring our Sister Breuck in the building. Welcome to the Brooklyn Bridge, Sister Breuck, and the Thorough
Hello,
Black Talk Crew.
hi. Hi,
Good,
how
sis?
are you? What's good?
Glad to have you Black with us on the Brooklyn Bridge. As I said before, some people don't know that you are the architect behind the Red Apple Nail Salon. Before we get into microphone check, I want our people to really know what really happened and how you got involved in all of that.
Oh wow, okay. It was just me. I saw the video online. It was a late night. It was a Saturday night. And it was late and I just saw the video on Facebook and it just really upset me. And then when I looked at the comments, I got even more upset.
You're talking about the video of the nail salon employees beating Miss Thelma and her granddaughter in the salon. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one. And it just, I've heard of those things happen in other places. And I always felt like, oh, that would never happen in Brooklyn because they know better, and I was like, okay, this. And then here it was happening in my backyard. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do about it? Like you said they would never try you and they tried you. So what you going to do? So, like I said, I was watching the video and it just really, really upset me. The comments, people were laughing and just being completely disrespectful to the people that look like them. And it just made me angry. And so between those two things, I was like, I have to do something. And I happened to be off of work the next day. So I was like, I just went out there with my extra phone. The video was already loaded on the phone. It was summertime, so it was hot. I called a couple of people who had larger followings than me. Empress AK is one of those people. I always let people know that she helped me get the word out. And then she had to leave, but she did come first in the morning. Because like I said, this was an impromptu thing. I hit her up like 3 a.m. the night before. So she came through, she let all her followers know. So that's how people started getting the word out. And then so after she left, it was just me there. And I just would show people the video and I would be like, do you want to see how they treat people that look like you? And that would pique people's attention. And I would just show them the video. And most of the time, 99% of the time, they didn't want to spend any money in there and they would leave. And then sometimes even some of the women would go in the store, get their nails done, think I was just selling something, and then come back out. Like, well, girl, let me see what you're doing. And then I would explain to them, they'd be like, oh, I didn't know, but I won't spend no more, I promise. You know what I mean? So that's how it got started while other people were on their couch.
I like that. I like that, sis. I like that. And because, I went out there. And as I told you, first of all, let me give shout out to Dr. Randy Short, because that's how she and I made the connection.
Yes.
Got to give shout out to Dr. Randy Short. He said, you got to talk to Sister
Love
Breuck.
Dr. Randy Short.
So when I saw the video of there was going to be a protest down there, I didn't come the first day, right? Because I'm a watch and see what our people do type of person, because you know our people are fickle.
You got to.
So I parlayed for a couple of days, and then I went out there and I linked up with our brother King Simon. Shout out to King Simon. And
I love King.
I saw you do. You love King Simon?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's our
He's
brother
such
from
a
another
nice
mother.
guy.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So he and I were chopping it up, and I hear another sister say, well, you know, these women, they want to go into the salon and we can't let them go into the salon. So another gentleman said, well, what could you do to stop them from going into the salon? And there was some conversations going back and forth. And, you know, I'm from Fort Greene. I don't got time for all this foolishness. So I said, listen, if they want to go in salon, great. But we're going to beat the hell out of them when they come out. So either you can get your ass whooped, excuse my language, or you could go into the salon. It's totally up to you. So one female, she called her man on the phone. I'm from these streets. Are you crazy? So I was like, go ahead. So he came, and he was like, well, you know, he pretty much trying to tell his girlfriend she was in the wrong, pretty much. So I said what I said to her. Now, both of y'all can get it if you want to. So anyway, long story short, those sisters didn't go into the nail salon that day. And, you know, the proprietor and his employees ended up coming out because they had no business. But I said, after I left that day, I said, look here, you know, as Sister Breuck said, we from Brooklyn. We don't got time to play with people over here. Now, either you boycott the business or you get your head lumped up. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. So some other brothers that I know who were out there, they was like, yeah, Sister Keisha not playing. No, I wasn't. I'm not going to propose a threat that I can't come through on. I've always been nice with these 1-2s, always. So I meant what I said. But like I said, family, we got to give respect to Sister Breuck. Give her flowers while she's here for making that pop off. She saw an injustice that happened to what could have been her grandmother. And she stepped up.
Yeah, that's what made me upset.
Yeah, and come to find out, a couple of weeks later, there was a straight Black Pride convention here in New York City in Prospect Park. So while Brother Tad and, you know, the guys are setting up the tents and all of that, I took a walk. And as I'm taking a walk down the path, who do I run into? Miss Thelma. And we begin to have a conversation about what took place. Now, I heard it from the horse's mouth. What took place step by step. And we recorded it. When Brother Tad get in here, he'll tell you that we all had a conversation with her. Me, Brother Tad, Irritated Jeannie, and a whole lot of other people, Brother Black Magus. They were all out there, and they can all confirm that we talked to her firsthand that day. So to see our young sister right here step up and say no more, when you have a lot of camaraderie right now of fake ones who are acting in our name, you got to give kudos to the real ones out here, because we got a lot of fake ones. So again, sister, kudos to you for that. So
Thank you.
Always, we give each other flowers over here. We don't play. Keep it real on the Brooklyn Bridge. So
I would definitely appreciate that.
So
Thank you, Sister
that
Breuck.
person was, you know, oh, you are so welcome. I couldn't sit. I remember that day someone said, oh, I remember what happened at the nail show. I saw the video and I thought to myself, nobody's going to do anything about it. And I said, hello, my name is Nobody. I'm here to do something about this.
So have they since closed, or what's the deal with the store?
Yeah, Chaba.
They've been closed.
Never to open back up. It's a bakery now.
It's over.
Oh
It's a
no,
wrap.
no.
Like
I had a goal.
Go in, or they could have got lumped up. It was either or, because I'm older
And they were
I have
losing too much money. That was that I had a goal, and I was laser focused on my goal. There were quite a few people who tried to pull me off my goal, but I was laser focused, and I wanted two things. I wanted the charges dropped, and I wanted the store closed. I didn't care how, who, what, where, what, nothing. And that those two goals I accomplished, and everything else I can't control.
Are you an attorney?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just a regular Brooklyn chick. I grew up over there in that neighborhood. Like,
you're a chosen one.
So, I guess I saw something where I can't remember who it was, but they were saying that sometimes you choose yourself, because that night, right? And I like to tell this part, even though it's kind of personal. That night, I was not feeling the greatest. You know, I felt like something was missing, and I felt like I used to work at a school, and I stopped, and I'm not working there anymore, and because of the politics. But anyway, I felt like I wasn't giving enough. And when I saw that video, it was like, this is your opportunity to do something for someone else, you know? And then, like I said, I heard, like, you kept saying it could never happen in Brooklyn because y'all tough, right? So it was like those two things going on in my head.
Your ancestors was knocking at your door. Like, let's see how tough you are, girl. You keep saying you tough. How big and bad are you now? Let's see it. And you did it, right?
Right, like, yo, you talking all that. You talking all that, right?
Yeah.
Right. So here they are. They did it right in front of your face, right in your hood where you grew up. What you gonna do about it?
What
You gonna sit there and not do nothing and keep
You're
talking?
gonna cry. You're gonna sit there and chit chat with your friends. Oh, those
No.
people this and those people.
They're so mean. When? No.
You know, and
They
it's
shut it
about
down.
action. It is about
Never
action.
to return.
And I love that for you. And I love that
Thank
for anything that you're going to do in the future. And it is about, you know, you and I and everybody who's listening and who's not listening to take these concrete steps, right? To show that they cannot succeed unless we allow them to succeed. And
absolutely,
it is up to us to claim our crap. But as long as we say, oh, well, next time I'm not going to go get my nails done over there. No, it's not next time. It's this time. Right? We need to stop waiting for tomorrow and start working for today. And it's absolutely hard. I definitely feel it. You know, if I got to go get my nails done, convenience versus distance sometimes falls me too. So I am no angel on this platform, but I definitely understand that our family goes for certain things because some things are just right there and it's easily accessible to us. And to go the other way means to challenge us and to push us further. But kudos to you, sister.
Yes,
You're my big
sis
right now because you stood up to the man and said, no, you can't do that to my grandma. So that's all I have to think about. We have to think about, you know, there's the African proverb that says that, you know, from 25 to 55, you are the protectors of the seniors and the children. And if you're not doing that job, you're a disservice to your nation building. So this is our role.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we're going to move right along. Shout out to our brother Kev, South Kakalaki in the building. He said, I remember that. He said, yeah, when I say something, I mean it. Brother Kevin, no. He said he witnessed me firsthand in Atlanta. I don't have time. Listen, I do a lot. And my patience for foolishness is minute. You know, I don't rock. Everybody who knows me, including my family, they know I don't have much patience for foolishness. But so getting ready to, like I said, purchase tickets to see Microphone Check. Shout out to brother Tariq Nasheed in his work in making this documentary happen. Kudos to him. I'm thankful that he stepped up to make this documentary because there's been a lot of chatter as far as hip hop's creation is concerned. And so when I went online and my cousin said, yeah, we tough with the hands. We thorough. We don't play. So anyway, I was ready to purchase tickets and I wanted to see the film, but I knew there was a lot of shenanigans that were going on behind the scenes. I listened to a lot of the interviews I saw Tariq doing and a lot of his posts, and he was letting us know a lot of the foolishness that was going on behind the scenes. So I reached out to Sister Breuck when I couldn't get access to the Fandango link to get them. And I even sent the theater an email. I also sent that to Sister Breuck. Did I not? I sent you the email. Yes. I reached out to the theater because I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I want to know. And the woman from the theater said, as far as I know, the film is still being shown unless I get notification that it's not. So I said, well, there has to be a ticket problem. So researched that, found out that's where the problem had lied. And then hearing the chatter online and also confirming with Sister Breuck that one of the photographer has been reaching out to various platforms to get this film pulled. Now, let me read a quote from Brother Tariq Nasheed, and then we'll get Sister Brooks' information as far as what she knows. He says, all nationwide theatrical screenings of the hip-hop film Microphone Check scheduled for tomorrow has been canceled because Puerto Rican photographer Joe Conzo sent a letter to our film distributor making a bogus copyright claim in order to spook the corporation. And it worked. Conzo and others like him have been consistently trying to sabotage this film because they are salty that the Black pioneers of hip-hop were getting their proper respect without revising the history. This film will stream next week at fbastream.com, and you can get the Blu-ray at microphonecheck.com. So, Sister Breuck, let the people know what's been happening, surrounding this film, because I know you've been following heavy the commentary that's been going on. So give us the 411.
I've definitely been. So how deep do you want me to go with this? Because this is the Brooklyn Bridge been happening, which is why they made a movie.
This is the Brooklyn Bridge. Go in, get heavy. We thorough over here.
Okay. So the issue of trying to erase Black Americans from Black American history is ridiculous. That's pretty much what the back and forth has been about. The Puerto Ricans are trying to say that they created hip hop 50-50 or even just breakdancing. When we have seen videos of Black Americans breakdancing in the 1920s and 30s. I saw a video from the 1800s with no sound, where they were getting down, doing the windmill on the floor and all kinds of things. So,
and we saw
the fact that they could
videos at the National Black Museum, Smithsonian Museum in DC. There are, as you said, videos from the 1800s. We saw them ourselves there. Didn't want to cut your wisdom. Go ahead, sis.
No, but I didn't know where it came from, but I definitely saw the video. So it's just ludicrous to think, because he says just crazy things like, "Oh, nobody got down on the floor." Well, this is Dr. Cologne that says that. But Joe Conzo, as far as Joe Conzo is, he is the one who's making the claims against, I guess, pictures that he's saying that Tariq used in the movie. So they're going to be fighting that out in court.
Right.
I didn't want to just ramble.
I want to just play this clip real quick of a clip from the film Microphone Check, and we'll come right back and we'll discuss.
By Western country music. That's why a lot of Jamaican performers back in the day.
There were a lot of people who were non-FBA who would low-key denigrate us. They would have all of these weird names for foundational Black Americans, like Akata, Jarir, Abid, Yanks. They had all these little weird terms. But when these people start getting over here and getting in political positions, and then they can dictate where our resources go, and they have that same anti-FBA disposition, now we're saying time out. When we have a Kamala Harris, who's non-FBA, but who cosplays as Black when it's convenient, and then Asian when it's convenient, when we have her dictating where our resources is going to go, we have to say, hey, wait a minute. We don't want these people who are really not on code with us acting as our representative, because that's very important. The dominant white society, they understand people who have a certain lineage, they will be on code with each other. So they let people get in political positions who don't have our lineage, like Barack Obama, Colin Powell, Eric Holder. These were people who didn't have any FBA lineage. So they put them in positions knowing that they would not do anything to help Black people and it wouldn't mess with their conscience. There were a lot of people who are non-FBA who
were very influenced by Western country music. That's why a lot of Jamaican performers back in the days, they'd have names like Josie Wales, and they would have cowboy hats on, and they would be positioned like this on their album covers because they loved American Westerns and shit like that.
And we first, Jamaicans had nothing to do with hip hop the way it is. I'm not hip hop according to most people, but I am the source of what hip hop became.
They even said I was Jamaican. That's cool, Herc. My mother came from North Carolina. My father, to be truthful, they said he was born in Jersey, not to be disrespectful to anybody's nationality. I didn't know Herc was Jamaican for a good while.
When you look at a lot of the early pioneers in hip hop, none of them heard any toasting records. They weren't playing toasting records or Jamaican records or reggae records at some of the earliest jams. Even Kool Herc himself has said he didn't play Caribbean records because the audience just didn't take to it.
Jamaican toasting, no, we're not on the mic. I mean, if you're 14, 15 years old, what Jamaican artists are you listening to? You don't even know a Jamaican artist. We're all in high school, so we don't have that kind of information. So the roots of hip hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
Sister Breuck, your thoughts on those clips?
Okay. Which one do you? I guess I'll start with the first clip.
Yes.
I completely agree. Unfortunately, I live here in New York, where I'm American, but I was completely immersed. I don't really know too many Americans that aren't related to me. So it was shocking to me to hear terms like Nakata. No one had ever called me a Nakata to my face. So that was shocking to me. Now, other things I've definitely heard. I've heard the whole Yankee thing and that type of stuff, and other negative stereotypes that are said about Black Americans. But like he said, it's like you never really. It's like whatever, right? No biggie. But now that it's a definite push for foundational Black Americans to get their reparations, you're starting to realize that a lot of the Black politicians that are in place that could be fighting for it are not fighting for it because they wouldn't qualify. And that's a problem. We look back at Obama's presidency and we start recognizing, wait a minute, he wasn't Black American. Now Michelle is, and she didn't do nothing either, but she just as treasonous. So you know, it is definitely something that we've been looking at lately. You know, that's why they can't even bother trying to make Michelle run, because she already, her name is Mud over here. So they can't even think about bringing her out. So that's how I feel about that. Now, there are definitely people, they use the word tether, and I know what that word means. It means someone who is attaching themselves to Black culture without respecting.
Facts.
It is not every single person
Facts.
who is not of the lineage.
Facts.
I don't necessarily use that word because people don't really see the difference. So I'll just call them coons and traitors. I mean, that's what you are.
100.
So there's no point in me giving you an extra name, but you know, you are what you are. But there's definitely a lot of people who are not like that. And you know, you, especially living in New York, you get to meet these people that you don't have a common culture as far as, like, you know, history, but you have a common culture of growing up in New York.
Facts. Facts.
So that's how I feel about that clip.
Now the second clip.
The second clip
of trailer, if you will, for the film Microphone
Check. So I find it very insulting out that I don't even know which one to start with, the Puerto Ricans or the Jamaicans. I'm going to be honest. I don't know who to start with.
These attacks.
It's like they just coming for both angles. Like, really? The Jamaicans, the fact that you can sit there and act like we got toasting from you, when the originators of toasting said they got it from listening to the radio, that they was able to get the signal from Florida in Jamaica. That he heard a commercial. I could try to find a video for you. But he said, I can't remember his name, but he's one of the two people who did the toasting. And he said that he was catching the radio signal from America, and he heard a commercial where they was on, I think it was a commercial for some kind of hair grease. And they were rhyming in the hair grease ad, you know, as we have been doing for a very long time. He was, you know, using that jive talk in the ad. And that's where he heard it from. And he was like, oh, I could do it in the Jamaican way. And he started doing this. So for the fact that people could say that we got toasting from them when they got toasting from us is crazy to me. But you know, I heard there was a video.
It's funny you say that, because I got this video a little earlier today. This right here,
I seen it.
Is so crazy. But I want y'all to hear this clip, and we'll come back and let Sister Breuck continue her commentary. Here we go.
And started drill music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man,
Chicago started drill music. Don't come in with that.
Know that.
England started.
Man, nobody want to hear that.
No.
You coming over here now? We about to have. I thought this was gonna be a good show.
So no.
Don't come.
So
you
listen.
doing the same thing that Jamaica do. She come over here and she start taking stuff from America.
Right. No, let me teach you something that you never know.
Try to break it down.
No, let me teach you now. UK is the start of every culture, every pop culture. UK started the Afrobeat wave.
Not Africa.
The wave.
The wave.
The wave in terms of the acceptance of the West.
Okay.
UK started that wave. When it comes to your R&B music, most of your R&B.
Oh no, we're not going to do that, bro.
Listen to me.
No, we're not going to do
listen.
that.
Most of your R&B writers are from the UK.
They might be from there,
no, but listen,
you telling me that the blues and all the stuff we done, the blues started in there.
You know what I said? I said I said R&B. I never
Yeah,
said,
I'm gonna say
okay, no, and you know,
Mississippi, man.
blues is American thing. You talking about America? R&B is not American. It's not synonymous to America alone.
It came from rhythm and blues.
No, listen, it's really. So just because you name something,
Rhythm and blues,
hold on,
baby.
So just because you name
Without
it,
the blues,
listen,
none of this stuff would be out here.
You know what America is good
Ray
at?
Charles started today.
You know what America is good at? So hold on. So hold on. America is the first place that had a radio station and music instruments.
Ray Charles.
Did you watch? England started drill music.
This is the shenanigans that's going on in these internet spaces. This is the foolishness that's going on.
Foolishness.
How to get off the soapbox? Go ahead, sis.
Like the unmitigated goal. How dare you sit up there and just lie? Just lie. That's all. Like, so there's this video, right, of Spike, the singer, right, and I think I can't remember the black girl. She's on she's a Haitian comedian on BET, but I can't remember. Her name starts with a J. And she was saying that she went to Ghana and she had oxtails, and the oxtails was so good. Those are the best oxtails she ever had. And she said that in front of Spice. And Spice goes, how are you going to say that when Jamaicans born the ox? Right? And I know I don't have an accent, but y'all understand what I'm trying to say. So that to me is just like, that just sums up like what this is about. It's like Jamaica is the center of the universe. Because how could you lie like that? Okay. One, R&B comes from rhythm and blues. Those were two different types of music that they put together or sped up the blues to make rhythm and blues. The fact that you can't even articulate that shows you don't know where it's coming from. And drill rap, as negative as it might be, comes from shooting guns. You can't even have guns in the UK.
Come on, sis.
So how you gonna say that you started drill rap and you can't drill nobody? You can only poke. You can't drill. So, and like I said, I know that's a negative thing, but my mom used to say that, my grandfather used to say that, one time there was, it's a joke between a white man and a black man, and the white man saw a roach on the black man's shoulder and he knocked it off, and the black man said, put it back. You done took so much from me. You can't have nothing. So you can't even have our negative music. Put it back. It's ours.
Can I try to interpret what he meant for a second?
Please do, because I would like to understand.
Because Tavistock Institute creates, you remember when he said the part creates? He didn't say it made it. He said it creates R&B, which is different from the blues, which is American. So that's how I interpreted that. But he didn't get to it.
But
I can't assume that.
How is R&B not American?
No, that you're not getting the point. Let me.
No, I'm not.
Okay, it comes from the R&B is not blues. R&B's is the point you made. It's rhythm and blues from two different musics merged into one. Okay, are we good on that, or should I stop?
That both came from America.
I didn't. Yeah, that's what I'm definitely saying. When it became,
you take two American music genres and join them together.
Yeah, when it became R&B instead of rhythm or blues is when it became R&B, not the blues, not the rhythm.
But once again, if they both derive from two American genres into another American genre,
okay,
where does someone else create it?
The business of R&B in Tavistock Institute, which is in London. Look it up. That's how I start my last book.
That's still not creation. That is the exploitation.
The creation of
At the
R&B
money.
genre, not the blues or the rhythm.
If the Tavis that institute was to
He's
not
talking
exist, R&B
about
would
the
still be what
naming
it
of
is.
the genre. That's what he's talking about, I believe, the naming of the genre.
But even if that is the
people can
case,
name
you are
whatever they
taking
want.
two things, right? They're always taking things and renaming it.
Yeah, that's where the agreement is.
So, what again? It still doesn't make sense to me.
Let's
How
play
would
this
you make
clip.
me say
Let's
anything?
play this clip. Let's play this clip of an interview with Tariq Nasheed on Atlanta and Company. Here we go.
Is home to musicians of several genres, and many of them are hip hop artists. But who really created hip hop? That's one of the questions behind the documentary Microphone Check. And here to talk about it is hip hop historian and director Tariq Nasheed. Hi, Tariq.
Hey, Kara, how are you?
I'm good. It's oftentimes we have very talented people sitting in this seat.
Yes.
So I'm thrilled you're here. Have lots of questions for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Let's talk about the documentary. Well, first, tell people what Microphone Check is.
Microphone Check is a documentary, hip hop documentary, talking about the real origins of hip hop, and it's clearing up a lot of myths and misconceptions. We talk about all of the elements in hip hop. There are 5 elements: DJing, graffiti, b-boying, MCing, and the knowledge. And we talk about the origin of all of those elements in hip hop.
And you were saying too, your documentary is different than others because you really concentrate sort of on the origin decade of the 70s.
Right.
And you start there.
Yeah, because a lot of documentaries about hip hop, they'll touch on the 70s for about 5 minutes and then they'll skip to the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And they'll talk about modern artists. I wanted to stay focused on what happened in the 1970s, what cultivated the culture in the 70s. So we really, really took a deep dive into that.
I love that. Okay, you talk about, you have a lot of prominent figures in the documentary, Busy Bee, Cook LaRock. You talk about how too, DJ Hollywood, how some of those people too were like the original beefs were happening in the 70s. We were just saying, all right, Atlanta is home to musicians of several genres, and many of them are hip hop artists. But who really
Put your mic on, Sister Keisha.
Sorry about that. A lot of confusion is going on right now. That's why I took a trip, Sister Breuck. Last July, I took a trip down to Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee is the home of the National African American Music Museum. They have halls of music. As I said, when I gave my report coming back last July, around this time to be exact, I was there. But when you go through the genres of music there, and again, there's so much information and music there, it will take you months to go through all of it. And they specifically talk about the journey of music and the creation of those genres that Brother Black, mentioned that the Tavis Institute took possession of. These genres were created by other folks. We never created these genres. One interview that I saw, or two that I saw in particular, one of Miles Davis, who was doing an interview, and the interviewer asked Miles about the genre of jazz music and how he got involved in all of that, and how does he like jazz music of his day. I think this interview was done in the early 80s. But anyway, Miles Davis said, first of all, it's not jazz music. It's the soul of Black folks that is coming through the instruments that I'm playing. He said, you all gave it these titles, but it's our music from our soul, from our experience. The same type of interview was done with Muddy Waters several years prior. I think in the 50s maybe, or the 60s, this interview was done of Muddy Waters. And Muddy Waters, again, said the same thing that Miles Davis said, because they asked Muddy, how is it that he gravitated towards the blues? And he says, you call it the blues. I'm not blue about anything. I'm speaking about my life as a country boy in Mississippi. So this is country for me. This is what he said. He said, but you all can call it whatever you want to. Put all of that together with genre of hip hop, because hip hop is the development of all of these alleged genres that came before it. Muddy Waters and Miles Davis said this is our soul music. So for anybody to come along and say, well, no, this was our music, we created this. Well, what about those who came before? Because you can go on YouTube, and I played the video here when we discussed this. You can go on YouTube and find a video of a group called the Jubileers. The Jubileers was a rap group in the 40s. So, you know, we discussed that here, and they have that whole piece because they did more than one song. When you go to the museum, they play their whole set. It was a television show where they played their whole set. You can even look at people like Cab Calloway and the likes. You can go on and on and on, but you can't say that another group created something that they founded. You may have founded it. You may have this say, wait a minute, I see something different over here. But let me try to do something with this over here. But you didn't create it. You may have put your own spin on something, but you didn't create it. And that's the problem. That's the problem. You never see Black Americans ever say we created dancehall music. You never see us say that because we didn't do that. You never see us say we created merengue and salsa. We don't do that. We are very respectful.
Actually, we did create that.
Wait, but hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. We respect everybody else's contribution to whatever it is that they're doing that will make society, in particular for us, better. So when they say that, you know, well, we created salsa and merengue, well, what about the musicians here that Tito Puente said that he looked up to, like Max Roach and the likes?
That part, okay, that part.
I was going somewhere with this. So we really got our time and look at things. Now, y'all can go on your cell phones or whatever it is that you use, and you can see interviews where Tito Puente said that Max Roach was his idol. When Marcus Garvey came here, stepping off music for a second, he studied Black preachers and white preachers. He didn't found nothing. That's how he created his oratal tone, if you will. You can't say that you create something that you may have found. Just like white people say they discovered America. No, the hell you didn't. There's folks already here that look like me, was already here. So what you talking about?
That part.
So
that part.
What I'm saying. So now in these internet spaces, for those of you who are not in the internet spaces, there's a lot of foolishness that is going on. So Brother Tariq took it upon himself to create this documentary with the founding fathers and mothers of this particular genre. Tad mentioned last week, if you read the book by Dale Jones, Culture Bandits, you will know all that is going on today. You will have been well versed. You would have been prepared for what it is that you see today. Shout out to Sister Pat. She just mentioned the book. So I'm just saying, it's nothing new here. But the difference is Black Americans are saying, you know what? Enough is enough. Like I said, Asada Shakur message on the call the other night we was listening to, she yearns to get back to this African American culture. She said out of her own mouth, she misses all of it that we are. So we can't let someone come in and be disrespectful. This is how you lose the war. You already lost the battle because history is going to spank you. So you lost the battle, but this is how you lose the war. You can't lose the war. You all come from the diaspora with great talents and gifts. You all have your own unique ethnicity. Stand firm in that. I was watching a documentary on Netflix the other night about our sister, Simone Biles. And she talked about her father's adopted father's second wife. Now, the story of Simone Biles is she was adopted by her grandparents. She is the daughter of her grandfather, who was addicted to drugs and in the streets, and he and his second wife adopted their grandchildren. So anyway, she talks about the connection that she misses when she is not with this culture, when she is not with this family. That's why she walked out of Japan. That's what happened. You can go and look at the documentary for yourself. I think it's called Simone Biles Rising. But you can see for yourself the breakdown, the mental breakdown that she began to have dealing in this world of sports entertainment. The pressure's got to be too much.
And look what they did to her.
Yes. Totally try to destroy this young lady. So if you want to know more about the story, but her second father's wife, I believe she's Belizean. I believe. But she never co-opted their culture for her own. You understand what I'm saying? She came with her own gifts to raise those two girls, Simone and her sister. She never co-opted her African American culture. That's totally crazy. I myself am married to a Jamaican man. There is no way he could co-opt my culture and not his. We respect each other's gifts and talents that make it beautiful. So I'm glad that our brothers and sisters in these internet spaces are saying, oh, no, the hell you won't. Not today. It's over. It's over. And it's been happening for far too long. It's been happening for far too long, sis.
Can I chime in for a second? What I believe we're getting to a time where even ethnicity amongst us, I'm just talking about us now, doesn't matter, because where we want to go is toward our soul family. And that's whoever, rock with you, and you rock with them and y'all don't have no problems. I've been rocking with y'all, most of y'all for a few years now. And hey, it's only going to get better from where I'm looking. I'm done.
Facts. I get your point.
I'll say that.
Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
I was going to say, for those that rock with us, it's lovely. It's beautiful. But it's a lot of them who don't. And unfortunately, a lot of them are in political positions that need to be removed. Because what we won't have is any more opposition to our reparations claim. It's overdue. And what I don't quite understand about the diaspora, what people are calling the diaspora wars, is why is it an issue when we as the victims are calling out the people trying to colonize and erase us from our culture? Why isn't the comparison being made of them being like the white man? Why? They are not acting like fellow black people. They are acting more like a colonizer, the same person they should be against, but instead you are joining with them against us. And so to call out what we're saying as a reaction to what has been happening is disingenuous to me.
I think
you cannot poke me and then think I'm not going to do nothing about it.
I think what's happening is that the system at large is pinning us against each other. That's number one. Number two, there are groups across the diaspora who understands what we're talking about right now and understands that we are all seeking reparations. We all have someone's door to knock on to say, give me back what you've stolen. I'm sorry, stolen wheelchair. What you've stolen from us, right? But the thing is, people in these groups are not coming together and having conversation. So the larger people, like the political officials, are the ones that are on top of these conversations and making it seem like we're against each other. But for me and you and me and everybody on this platform, you know, as a descendant of people from Haiti who migrated here, I fight for you. And I also fight for my brothers and sisters in Haiti to knock on France's door and say, give me back, right? Knock on the doors of the people that captured you, imprisoned you on a foreign island, and told you you have to work until you die. That's, you know, and there are the indigenous folks that were in the island of Haiti, Quisqueya, Boyo, half of them no longer exist. The indigenous folks here on Turtle Island, you know, those folks deserve not these little plots of lands that they've been assigning them, but they deserve everything. And I want all of us to get back what we deserve. So I'm in accordance with that. And I agree that we can't let these political officials have this larger conversation. And this goes back to what my sister Keisha always says. It's about our voting structure. If we're voting and you see, I don't want to name people's name out right now, but if you see, you know, Hakeem all the way on top, and you know you're not checking Hakeem to make sure that Hakeem is doing right by your people, you're dead wrong. And that's where we need to be. We need to be in a space of accountability amongst our groups, our respective groups, so that we can be respectful amongst our collective nation, because will always be groups of people. That's fine. But we have to establish a nationhood so that we can achieve the greatness that we deserve, because nobody should claim, you know, rap and hip hop as their own who weren't there at its foundation, right? Nobody should come and say black rice came from, oh, I could make the, nah, son. You leave the black rice to the black rice makers, right? You leave what is for the people, like Sister Keisha has said. And we need to get this conversation in the hands of bigger people and start holding people accountable, because a lot of things happen that continue to pin us against one another. That's not to our favor. So what I would love to see in the next 2 years, that we find a way of formulating solutions for greatness that we deserve. So I'm with y'all. Fight.
We definitely appreciate you being with us. But we ain't gonna wait for other people to snatch their people down. We gonna snatch them down.
Facts.
And as it should be.
As my grandmother used to say, I'm gonna pull you by your collar.
And that's
where, okay,
and this
because
is where
unfortunately it's taking too long for other people to snatch their people from their groups down.
That's
while they're messing up what we're doing, because the difference is I'm not in anyone else's country stopping their reparations claims. You don't see Black Americans talking negatively about any other country's reparations claim. You don't see it. You won't find it.
Other country,
but
really
here we have it. It's so much different.
There's no other country claiming for reparations. Jamaica's not claiming for
there's
reparations.
CARICOM.
They are not claiming for reparations. I tell you this. They are not.
I don't think it's as serious, but they are in talks about it. And I think once we get our reparations, it will spread across.
They just want more satellites so that they can collect more internet services. This is what I know from the inside. That's what they want. They are not fighting for reparations because they're fighting for reparations.
Well, hopefully, because we run into the end. I gotta cut you, Sister Marcia. I'm sorry. I apologize. I deeply apologize, sis. We coming to the end and we gotta wrap this up. But I wanted to get these clips in here of our young brother Adonis again on the streets, making it happen. We gotta give these young people their flowers because they really are engaged in what's really happening here to stop the madness, if you will. Here we go.
About the black, because over there in Europe, there are people that cosplay as Black Americans, dress like us, act like us, talk like us, but then talk down on us. I think it's a disservice that other cultures are not looking at those people and saying, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that these particular people need to be shine light on and say, it's fugazi. Like, that's a New York.
No, real talk though. We not knocking the swag because like we influential and we inspirational. Just don't act like it came from you or like you have like don't think you better than us. Like join us if anything. We in a movement to make sure that the whole world is connected, and America really got a lot on us. So we don't need other people trying to put us down. Come join us, come rock with us, learn your history, because you can't wear all that stuff and then somebody asks you where it came from and you wasn't expecting that question. That don't make no sense.
Where you from? You'll tell me you're American. And I'll be like, oh, okay, but like where are your parents from? You know? And then you'll be like, I don't know.
No, I say America.
America, yeah. Like whatever thing.
America.
Yeah.
My grandmother, America. I can literally go all the way back to 1850 to my great grandmother who was born in Virginia.
Yeah.
Like literally. So
okay, yeah. And then let's say I said, okay, cool, let's go back. Let's go, you said 1850. Let's go back to 1650. Let's go back to 50.
America wasn't established until the 1700s.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but whoever gave birth to your great grandmother was obviously established. So I think the question obviously they're asking then is, where's that person from?
Yeah, but then I'll sit down and ask them the same thing. You can't tell me your history.
Yeah, not definitive.
No, but that's all speculation. Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah.
That's all based off perspective because, like, America, we have history going back up into like the 1700s because of the census, where they documented every single person that was living in America at that time. Africa never did that. They just recently started documenting people. I think up into the
full videos on YouTube right now. Head over there if you want.
Gotta love the brother Adonis. I love everything that he does. Just having deep conversations with people on the streets. And, one of the young men who was talking in that video, I don't know if y'all know, but that's Lil Mama, Lil Brother. So you never know who you're going to run up on the streets. Sister Breuck, your final thoughts and commentary as we get up out of here.
There was something said earlier tonight that the natives, we are the natives. We've been on this land for over, Dr. Clyde Winters talks about, we've been on this land for 50,000 years. We are the natives. Before they enslaved, they brought any slaves from Africa here, they were enslaving us here. As a matter of fact, if we ran too much, they would ship us to the Caribbean. So before they ever went to Africa and picked up one black person, they were taking black people from back and forth over here. We are the natives. This is my land. I can trace my lineage back to the 1700s of free black people. Now, not every single black person in my lineage, it was free, but those people were. And that's the 1700s. So when people sit there and say that we don't have a history, and that's one of the things that Busta Rhymes said as a Jamaican, that we don't have no history. We don't know who we are. When our country, our states, some of our states are older than the countries in Africa. Not the land, but the formation of the countries, of the flags that they're flagging in our faces are newer than the country that we built on our backs with our blood, sweat, tears, and fight. So it just pisses me off And like I said, we are the natives. This is our country. We will always fight. And trying to pick a fight with people that's used to fighting seems kind of silly to me, because we used to it.
I know that's right, sis. Listen, shout out, kudos, our second. You know, people said they enjoyed you, Sister Breuck. We're going to definitely have her on here again. And of course, you know, pretty soon y'all going to be seeing her in these streaming spaces as well, as she gets acquainted with how these things work.
Oh my goodness.
You will see her in these spaces as well. Definitely appreciate you, sis, for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Thank you to everybody here. I just appreciate you. Were so kind to me. You know I could be a little rah-rah, but I appreciate y'all. And I felt the love from everyone here. And I'm hugging you. I'm a big hugger.
Well, like I said, sis, we got to have you black again, because I know Brother Tad has some comments, but of course he was running late. Other things happened, but next week he'll be back, family. For those of you who want to know, he'll be back next week. But again, sis, thank you, and definitely keep me abreast about what's happening, so I can let our viewers know what's going on with Microphone Check. I hope that it's available in theaters again soon, because we were planning to have a whole field trip of folks coming to the theaters. But of course, you know, the haters going to hate. The haters going to hate. And we got to
fight the war.
Yeah, we got to fight the war and maintain our claim here in this country. Again, like I said, so many of our Caribbean brothers and sisters reside in Flatbush, Brooklyn. Well, Flatbush, Brooklyn was cultivated by Africans who in this land in the 1600s, who were recaptured. We went through on this platform the New York Kidnapping Club that were kidnapping free Black people and enslaving them. You don't know that land was cultivated by Blacks under the Dutch, and you reside there now. So you can't have a dissension about those who created the land that you call your home right now. Mr. Sable, you can look at your YouTube, your Google platforms or whatever. Look up Senator Sable. We talked about him on this platform. In the early days when Black men first got the right to vote and they began to implant themselves as members of the U.S. Senate, it was Senator Sable who fought for the immigration rights of Black people across the globe so that they can come here. So you have to respect our gangster. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. You're going to respect our gangster, or we're going to run over you, because it's about freedom.
Bottom line.
Bottom line, listen. I did a presentation last year as well with CMOTAP. And I was on they had a conversation about Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois. And one of the things that I mentioned, the problem with Garvey was he came into a homeland without respecting those who were already fighting here. You automatically assumed you knew what it was that we needed. And so when he began to have meetings with people like A. Philip Randolph and the others, they were letting him know, no, this is what we want and this is what we need. But because of his own stubbornness, he refused to listen. And what they warned him about how vicious this white man was in this country, unfortunately, Marcus Mosiah Garvey fell victim to that. And if you don't believe me, check out the film Messiah the Movie so you can see what happened with him during his trial. Now, MWM was just talking about women of the movement. That film highlights the second Mrs. Garvey. And scenes, and Sister Marcia, we saw it together, where the second Mrs. Garvey tried to get Marcus to understand what was around him, how he was being played with his folks that he claimed he knew, that he put in positions of leadership, but he wouldn't listen. But I don't want to tell the film. See it when it comes to a theater near you or a film festival near you. We definitely appreciate y'all for
You'll
coming.
be in Harlem.
Yes, they're coming into the Apollo Theater next month. So follow them on all their social media platforms so you can see this film. It's a 40-minute short film, but it focuses on specifically the trial of Marcus Messiah Garvey and the work of Amy Jacques Garvey in helping Marcus actually deal with his mental going on. It's a powerful short film, but I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Brother Black, give us the 1-2 and we can get up out of here. Marcia, you follow. We're going home. Let's go.
As Sister Breuck, let these people know that that's how the original Brooklyn was spelled, without the Lynn at the end of your name.
Yes.
Let them know, please.
You know that's where my name is from. Okay.
There you go. Put some respect on her name more than you already did.
Yes, that's where the name is from. I used to get called Brooklyn all the time. So I was like, well, if they gonna call me Brooklyn, I'm gonna flip it.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, thank you for your contribution. I loved it.
Thank you, Brother Black.
And thank you, sweetie. I hope you were listening in the beginning. We got a lot of celestial things coming on deck.
Yes.
Me and Sister Keisha spoke about it at the top, and then we kind of diverted.
I was listening.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you, sweetie. And we just gonna keep going. And like how we were talking about how you did what you did for the sister during the nail salon thing, and you pretty much did it alone, and so on and so forth. Don't get weary in your good deeds, because the time I already said you chose, and I think you say you choose yourself, and I agree with that 100%. And then the ancestors choose you. And then where we go from there is knowing that every little thing you did, that dollar you can only give to somebody who couldn't find something to eat, is going to be repaid 10,000-fold in the near future. When it's real. I ain't talking about this paper and blips on a machine. I'm talking about it in actuality, however you get it. And we just going to keep going forward. Just know that, like I said, I put the video out that I spoke on the top about to Sister Keisha. She can post it on the page or Facebook page, what have you. It's about 35-second video, and it's real short. I'm not going to take too long because we way over. And with that said, I love y'all. I see y'all next week on the bridge. And Sister Marcia, take it away.
Thank you, Brother Black. Thank you, Sister Brooke, Sister Keisha, all our listeners. Thank you for chiming in and doing what we do on Thorough Black Talk on a Blacktastic Thursday. I want us all to continue to manifest the life that we want. We have to fight to create the world as we see it fit. There is not one solution, there's 100 of them. But if we're not fighting to reach any of those solutions, we're just spinning our heads around and around in a rabbit wheel. So let's get off that rabbit wheels, brothers and sisters, and let's do the things that we should do, or we must do, in the name of our ancestors and all those who have fought for us to stand here today. So let time flourish, may time flourish, and make time flourish, because time is on your side. Sister Keisha, thank you again.
Thank you, family, for coming out and rocking with us on the Brooklyn Bridge. Tell somebody to tell somebody. It goes down every Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. This is where it happens, y'all. So, as my brother Isaiah J always says, true courage is knowing how to suffer. The battlefield is where you stand. Good night, y'all. We out.